Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a fun and interesting macrame owl pattern to share with you. To make this project, I used about 31 meters of 4mm cotton rope and some basic knots. Lark's head knot, double half hitch, square knot, button and wrap knot. Let's get started. First step, you use a hoop about 12 centimeters and 6 ropes, 3.4 meters long, to attach the hoop. You fold those ropes in the ratio 1 point to meter per 2 point to meters. Then you attach 2 ropes at the center part, so that the longer ends of them are at the between. You attach them by tying lark's head knots. And then, you do the same with 4 remaining ropes, 2 ropes for each side. And please notice, their longer ends are in the middle of the pair of ropes. These are the longer ends. Next, you use 4 ropes, 2.4 meters long, fold them in half and then you attach them, 2 ropes for each side. Next step, you use 1 rope, 1 meter long, fold in half. And then you use it to be a holding rope and tie, double half hitch with all the ropes on the hoop. You will tie the double half hitch until you have an arc along the lark's head, knots. Next, you tie square knots. First, you will tie a row of the square knots along the arc. Now, you're going to tie second row, but the second row will be 1 square knot less than the first row. You do the same with the next rows, until the last row. Just have 1 square knot. Next step, you use 2 rings and attach to form eyes of the owl. To attach the ring, first you take the 6th and 7th rope and tie 1 lark's head knot for each rope. With the left rope, you tie the lark's head knots and loops between the knots until they cover a half of the ring. And with the right rope, you also tie the lark's head knots with the loops until they cover a remaining half of the ring. You do the same with the other side. Next, you use 2 beads and thread them in the eyes. Next step, you take 4 ropes in the middle and tie for square knots. Now, you're going to take 1 rope in the middle and under the 4 square knots. Use it to make the holding rope and tie the double half hitch with all the ropes of the left side to form an arc line under the eye. Please note, when you tie the double half hitch from right to left, the ropes will be tied clockwise. You take the remaining middle rope and make a similar line with the right side. The ropes will be tied counterclockwise when the double half hitch move from left to right. You do the same with the remaining ropes of the right side until you have a similar line. Next step, you take the outermost rope of the left side, and you use it to tie the lark's head knots with the loops and attach them to the beside rope. Please, a small note, the first loop will be the largest. Then you make the next loop smaller than the one before it. You repeat the process with the right side. Next, you take the first rope in the inside of the left side and tie the double half hitch knots to form an arc line and it towards from the starting point to the last loop and located directly under the last loop. Once you've completed the first arc line, you do the same for the second to create a leaf shape. After that, you repeat the process with the right side. Now, you are going to tie one square knot in the middle part. Next, you take the third rope of the left and right side to tie the double half hitch and form a small triangle along the square knot above. Next, you tie 3 square knots. And you also tie the double half hitch knots to form a larger triangle along those square knots. Then you do the same with the remaining ropes. Next step, let's start with the left side first. You take the outermost rope and tie the double half hitch. However, the holding rope of the double half hitch knots will be larger than the holding rope of the previous double half hitch knots. In other words, the holding rope of the double half hitch knots gets bigger and bigger with each knot. You do same with the other side. Next, you take 4 ropes in front of them and tie a square knot button. This knot will help you attach a flower or a branch leaf to add as a decoration for the owl. First, you tie 5 square knots. Then you hitch the 2 middle ropes through space above the first square knot. Roll them, and then you tie 1 more square knot to fix them. Last step, You tie a wrapped knot under the square knot button. First, you choose one of the ropes to make a loop. Then you take another one of them to wrap around the loop. Now you're going to pass the wrapping rope to the loop and pull the looping rope to bring them inside the wrapping area. Cut off the excess ropes. You also cut the ropes of the top and straighten them out. After all, this is our macrame owl. The length of the owl is 55 centimeters and the width is 20 centimeters. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please, a quick like, comment or subscribe really does help me out. I also made many macrame tutorials before. You can check them out in my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.